Welcome to WROL Broadcast. I am Hate Mail, and this is the Meta Report. And with me today, I have Kage and
Hello.
Doombalks.
Hello.
And we decided to have him on again with a character he likes, since everybody gets upset when he doesn't like a character. But he likes Artemis, just a little bit.
Whoa,
And
whoa, whoa. What do you
maybe.
mean have me on like I'm some kind of guest? I was the original, thank you very much.
That is true. That is true. And Kage, as much as he said, no, she wouldn't be that good. She's gonna stink. I don't know how good she's gonna be. Um, he's come around a little bit now. So,
My goal was to gaslight the hell out of her so that people wouldn't like pick her up and play her,
yeah.
and then like set the bar so low people would like think she was trash tier. Then once they use her, and they're like, "Oh my god, she like killed half the team. I don't know what I'm playing with."
Yeah, it seems like half the world has already rebirthed her.
Just a bit.
um, Vincent already bought RB5 shards. Um,
Yeah, the funny thing is, I talked to Vincent last night. I was like, "Dude, are you gonna go RB5 with me? He's like, "I'll think about it, man. I'll think about it." And he walks into a siege match, loses my RB4 Artemis. He's like, "Oh my god, I need an RB5 her."
and when Vincent wants to RB5 someone, they instantaneously become RB5. So Doom, what are your thoughts on Artemis?
Uh, she's okay, I guess. I don't know.
You've only been talking her up every day since before she was released. So, what do you have her at?
Right now I have her at L3, but my position in Siege is gonna let me get the L5 easy. And then after that, I'm probably just gonna buy the tokens to bring her up. Maybe RB1 to start, because eventually she'll have her hero challenge. I'll just get them then. But yeah, not another booster gold. I actually put in the effort and time on this one, so worked out well.
Good. I took her. My plan was to go RB3, and then I completely forgot in my calculations last night when I was buying packs, which the wife wanted to go do a bunch of stuff because I've been preparing her for raids for next week, and so I needed to like do the calculations, but I was trying to do quick math in between when she wasn't looking because she was yelling at me for getting on my phone and getting on the game. And I kept just buying another pack and another pack, and I didn't calculate the siege shards. So she'll be RB4 after all.
All
I wish
right.
I could trade. I wish I could trade you, man, because um, I did math wrong too. I was like, "Oh, I'll have RB5, if I can land top 20 or whatever." And then Vincent was like, "Oh, I have the shards for RB5 now." And then so that kind of pushed my timeline up a bit. And then I'm like, "Oh, wait, I didn't buy enough packs, so I had to buy naked gems to use those gems to buy the 8K pack, which is,
Oh, that's
Ooh.
for the
painful.
listeners out there. For the listeners out there, if you're gonna RB5 someone, sit down and do the math correctly because it's gonna cost you. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
looking likely that I might have to drop another $100 to buy another 8K pack. So
Well, you'll get the raid gems here soon. When does the and the other thing I didn't realize because I'm rushing to buy packs or buy because I didn't realize the 8K gem packs had like 5 more days. So I'm like rushing to buy them, and I'm like, okay, well that'll get me to RB3. I might be over, but whatever. And then, and then I realized, oh, that's still 4 more days long. I didn't have to keep buying these Artemis packs over and over because I still have like 190,000 gems or 160 or something.
well, you might as well just go RB5, man, because you have the gems.
Well, I think RB4 is good because I want to save the gems for um,
For what? For what?
either Hawk Girl or Metallo or Cersei event or something. I want to have some gems for next month because I really don't. I'm not crazy about the characters for next month, so I don't want to have to buy a bunch of packs. But anyway, this is about
Well,
Artemis.
whatever.
So let's get into Artemis a little bit. Let's talk legendary order. I think I think
that everyone is like, oh yeah, I'll probably RB whatever this character. But I'm pretty sure people are here to hear us talk about why she's so good. And you know what? I'll actually let Kage have the floor for this one first.
Okay. Well, I looked at the kit and I thought, oh wow, that's a pretty good kit. It does crits. It sounds like she buffs herself to infinity and like kills people. So, I'm like, okay, on paper it looks good, but I'm skeptical because I like crits. I like how Black Adam plays. He crits up and kills people, so I'm cool with that. But I know there are characters out there like Donna Troy and Superman and Aquaman. Characters that people use, and they would counter Artemis pretty well. So I'm like, I don't know how good she's gonna be, man. Maybe her damage is gonna suck, like. But as soon as I unlocked her or started using her, I'm like, wow, what can't she do? I mean, she shields your team, she stuns people, she that AOE just like deletes half the team, if not all of them. All I had to do was just click an AOE, and all the blues on the other side are dead. So at this point, I'm like regretting RB4 because even green's like dying in my Artemis. So it's like playing the game in God mode, basically. It's absurd. She's absurd.
Doom, you were very limited in your speech, was as unlike you.
Yeah, I'm saving it up. You can go ahead also, hate mail, if you'd like. I'm pretty sure people want to end on the rambling part of it. So go ahead.
I love her. I think she's fantastic. She fits my team exactly what I want. Because the thing I've been missing is I've had good blues. I got Donna Troy, and now I got Cersei, who I like a lot, that fit into my stun teams. And then I was very green heavy. What I was lacking was a big blue buster. Catwoman's good, but she's more utility than she is. If you're facing 2 or 3 blues, you're going to struggle with just using Catwoman. Metallo I liked as a taunter. He can be okay, but he's still very susceptible to greens. Artemis, however, annihilates blues. She can take. I mean, I've had my L4 Artemis could take an RB5 Lex laser beam to the face and just shrugs it off. Even Arcus, who's probably the best method of dealing with her, his double tap will kill her. But he needs both punches, which most Reds, they're dead on the first punch. And she can take a counterattack from him without instantly dying. She's going to die to him, but she's one of the only Reds I've ever used that can actually hold up. She does heal immunity, so that takes care of a lot of other problems. And she stuns, which is, the main reason I love her. But she does all of these other things. She takes very little time to ramp up. Yeah, her basic doesn't do a ton of damage, but it's more useful than you would think at times when she does a little ping to either remove an awareness or just love tap someone out of the gate, and then they do just a little bit of damage. Because I don't know about you, but so often do I have a character have like just a thread of life left, and her little love tap at the beginning sometimes makes it so, okay, good, I one-shotted that character, where I don't always. And even her basic, which doesn't do much damage, once she's ramped, I mean, Kage, I've watched videos where he killed greens. I've killed many characters with her basic because when she uses it twice, then she does 10 to 12,000 damage. It's a lot more damage than most other characters do. So, all in all, I think she's just absolutely a fantastic character. I like everything that she does. I like the way she looks. She's just a cool character all the way around. All right, Doom, the floor is yours.
I want to end on Hate's part before Doom talks us to death. But similar to Hate, I've been looking for a crit-based red. And the only crit-based red I had was Lex, Warsuit. And, that's cool. He's got that one-shot gimmick. But as blues started becoming more powerful, like Rebirth, Wonder Girls running around and, like, being shielded by Hal Jordan, that plan wasn't very viable anymore. So Artemis, she takes care of that. Like, yeah, she calls the buff, she calls the whip, but who cares? Artemis just swings that axe and all the blues are dead. It's crazy to me. So, all right, Doom, go ahead.
Okay. So, man, Man. You guys already know how this is going to be. So let me go ahead and kick it off. Let me start by saying, this lady is 6'7". Did you know? Just kidding. She's like 6'1". But, that's all I need. That's tier already. Out of the gate. Boom. Done. But it gets better. Oh my goodness. Do you have Wonder Girl problems? Don Troy's getting you down? Try new Artemis. And then she whips her axe across the screen, and then all of a sudden, everyone's dead. And then the TV proctor's like, haha, gets rid of those pesky blues in a flash. It's just like, oh man, what did I need in my life before this point? Did I need to end world hunger? Did I need a new dog? No, obviously I needed a red that could just one-shot other reds out of the gate for no real reason. So when she first came out, let me preface this by saying, for me, the most interesting thing, I wasn't even considering her kit, but the most interesting thing for me right off the bat was her whole I attack at the start of game thing. I was like, wow, considering how characters are, that could be really useful, looking at the damage, this and that. Not as useful as I thought, but actually, in fact, is even more useful than I thought. So I was originally looking at it like, oh, this is going to do some damage. Maybe it'll crit. Maybe it'll kill someone. Put some Atrocitus in there, sprinkle it in. Bada bing, bada boom, someone's dead. Not the case. Her punch is kind of weak at the start. But that extra crit up that she gets at the beginning, plus the additional 3 she gets at the beginning of return sometimes, that's just gold right there. That's just pay dirt. That's basically guaranteeing that you're going to crit and kill everything. So I was sold. Basically, the moment I put my hands on this character, it was done, I don't usually go for the packs at the very beginning of the month, you get a little bit of everyone packs. But I was like, well, I need Hippolyta, whatever, try out Cersei, blah, blah, blah. And, woof, I'm never going back. This character's my forever character. So let's go down her kit really quick. Even though you guys did an okay job of it, let me just cement how absolutely insane her abilities are. So her basic, right? Does a punch, gets some crit chance up. Thanks to her passive, also gets int up when she crits. When she has enough int up, she strikes twice, right? Sounds kind of mediocre on paper if you're someone that thinks that, oh, well, she's not going to do a lot of damage. Until you realize, oh, wait, she just did 12k to a Hal Jordan. Or, oh, she just did enough to completely pull Arcus's shield off without much issue. And then on top of that, if she gets assist called, she's just whipping that thing like crazy, I had my Hippolyta double assist caller. Hippolyta applies the int ups before she does her assist call. So turn 1, she was already whipping out 4 punches, and I just slapped the axe and it was done. So already an insane thing. Double hits doesn't sound like much until both of those hits are guaranteed crits. Then it's a lot of damage. Now her 2 attacks gains 4 ints up unless it crits, and it gives you 8 int up, which is bonkers. If there's a character that was like, oh yeah, attack, gain 8 int up, stun, we'd probably be like, yeah, that's pretty good. They might need a nerf. But man, that stun, I didn't realize how important that stun would be until I actually got into the game, and I was like, oh, a guaranteed stun on a short cooldown move is actually pretty good. So I almost turned into hate mail for a second. I was looking at Hawk Girl like, hey, Hawk Girl, what that mace do? But, do not underestimate the power of that stun. She'll whip you in the face, or Wonder Girl will whip you in the face, but she's going to have a mighty hard time whipping you in the face when you hit her in the face with an axe and kill her instantly. Her AoE, oh my god, this AoE. Cool. Every time I do it, and this is Doom Secrets right here. Every time I do it, I make a little chainsaw sound with my mouth just for the sake of aesthetically pleasing visuals. because, I play with Time 3, like everyone. No sound effects. Play that game on silent. Every time I whip that 3-round, I'm instantly going straight across the enemy team. That is so much damage. Heal immunity on everyone? Are you, okay, I know me being bad on Cersei was a bit. Just to clarify, again, it was a bit. I actually think Cersei's okay. She's pretty good. But, man, Artemis makes her look like I was actually describing her. Oh, man. I've never seen a character who's like, oh, man, a power girl's in my way. Golly gee, how am I supposed to get that Donna Troy and that Wonder Girl at the same time? No, she's just like, oh, whoop. Oh, there goes the entire enemy team. Guess I'll wait one turn with Donna Troy on my side to do it again. And then she just does it again. And then she gains stamina ups. And then she crits, she gains int ups. What is this character? Character's insane. I love this character. She has everything. Oh, man. Oof. I'm going to need a cigarette after this one.
I gotta say, she is a very complete kit. She has everything she needs to plug into any team and make herself viable. Yeah, Lex and Hippo are obvious partners for her, but you can just slap her on any team really, and she'll just take care of herself. No partners needed. Just plug her in. Boom, works right out the box.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my God, this dude. I haven't even gotten to her passives yet. If she was a character with just those 3 actives, she would be good. But no, now it even gets better because now it's oh yeah, also gets a shield. Also can give herself int up when she crits, which is always. And she doesn't give herself a shield. She gives everyone a shield. There's actual shielders in the game that are dedicated shielders who do not shield as well as she shields. That is so messed up. Man, let me think. Who would be the best team shielder in the game currently? Probably in terms of bulk, Jessica Cruz maybe? She gives 30 to everyone.
Penguin, I think, just because of the frequency.
Oh yeah, Penguin too. Yeah. So imagine that, except you just do it while doing damage every turn forever. That's Artemis's first passive. And then she's just oh, I guess I'll take these int-ups also. Oh, man. And her second passive, beginning of her turn, purges debuffs, gets crits up 75% of the time. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize if you're stunned and that triggers, you get your turn. She'll purge it before her turn starts, so that stun doesn't matter. She's basically almost unstunnable. Same with debuff immunity and everything else, really. Woof, this character. Oh my God. And then she attacks in the beginning of the turn, which, as Hate Mail said, a lot of times you'll find a character that's oh man, the character lived with a sliver, it really sucks. Well, not anymore, they're not. And then, of course, in cases of Donna Troy, you just get to punch the awareness off of her before your entire team goes, opening her up to be smashed right out of the gate. And man, that is a powerful feeling to walk into a match, have Hippolyta double assist calling a Donna Troy, and then be that Donna Troy's 100% dead. There's no coming back from it. And, oh, man. So here's the thing, right? I mean, there's a lot of things already, but here's the thing. As Kage said, you can bring her on basically any team, and she can fuel herself. But you can bring her on very, very, very specific teams, and she's completely the MVP. There's characters like Hippolyta, which, as much as I love her, you can splash her on any team, but she's not really always or ever the MVP. She just makes everyone else the MVP. Artemis is the MVP. She walks in and takes command. You can put her next to Booster Gold, she makes Booster Gold look like garbage. You can put her next to almost every red, and it makes every red look like garbage. Stops revives, stuns, smashes greens, smashes reds, smashes blues. What? There's nothing this character can't do. Her gear set was not lying. I was why am I gearing up 10 weapons? She has 2 arms. I was wrong. She needs all those weapons, and she uses all those weapons. Man, this character, I wish she could have been the free character so badly. Man, I would not have given. But, so, there's this thing called breakpoints in the game, right? Breakpoints are basically at a certain percentage, you're guaranteed to kill a character, right? Like, a Huntress is, I think, 90-something% chance to kill a Donna Troy if she gets hit by an Artemis punch originally, with the big hit, turn 1. Assuming equal rebirths, of course. So, with Artemis, after her punch, obviously, you make some breakpoints, but there's a breakpoint that's pretty easy to hit, which is basically get any amount of int on her and let it stick. And you're killing Wonder Girl 100% of the time. And that's very powerful. Like, there's something to be said when every single S-tier blue is one shot out of the gate instantly. Like, Alan Scott, get that man out of my face. He's old. He needs to retire. But I'd put him in the home. Donna Troy, not even close. Wonder Woman reject, kick her out. Cassie, please. Please. That woman belongs in bottom tier now. She doesn't exist anymore. If you're bringing Cassie along, like, you're just giving up a free spot. I'm not even going to lie. My mouth waters when I see a Cassie team now. Like, I walk in, right? It used to be I'd see Cassie teams and be like, man, I got to deal with this, and I got to get around these taunts, and I can't bring Lex because I'm just going to die. And now I'm just like, oh, Artemis. And then the rest of my team doesn't matter. Like, Kage was two-manning teams like it was no one's business. I was working on my Doom Patrol team with Artemis. I killed entire meta teams before they even had a turn. Oh, man, this character is just obnoxious, especially when paired with Flex, but obnoxious in general.
She's a pain in the face, which you have to account for her, or she will wreck your team.
Exactly.
So,
like, she
for
is the new Wonder Girl. Easy.
For like
Easy.
the new 3 people that aren't going to L5 her out of the gate, can we talk legendary order for those people? I know it's a small minority, but if let's say you're part of the crowd that just L4s her, what would you leave off? I'm thinking her 4, which is the Artemis gains 15% additional shield, because I don't really feel like she needs them.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Kage, would you agree?
That's probably a good legendary leave off, but I will say with a caveat though, that extra shield makes a difference, and it's oftentimes saved me against like red or green heavy teams.
Yeah, and I'll agree to that. I mean, she's a character that you want to L5, but if you have to leave something off, that's probably the choice. For my order, I think I would definitely go with her 5 first, just because that lets her start ramping right out of the gate. You get those 4 crit ups. Anybody think differently?
Nope.
No, I think the same.
And then her second one, I think you have a couple choices depending on how you play. I would lean her 3 next, even though I love stuns, but that heal immunity is just so useful because you want to open with her 3 pretty often. Not I would say all the time, but often.
I think it depends on what the situation is, because sometimes that heal immunity is great against like revive teams or Lex teams.
Yeah.
But I almost want to say 1 next, because or no, not that 1. 1's just kind of whatever. Maybe 2. It just depends.
I go
2 or 3.
I'm torn between 2 and 3 as well.
How dare her 1 is just whatever? How dare?
I'm underselling. I'm underselling. But
get out of here. Kage's
if you had to pick
tier.
If you had to pick between a double slap that was like a total of 24k, well, actually now I think about it, Jesus Christ. Yeah. She can either punch you for 24k, or she can stun you for like 20k.
But she does have to have the intellect ups, and you're going to use her 2 or 3 before you use her 1 most of the time. So you kind of want those. You want to be able to take advantage of that. I mean, that stun is so useful. I mean, even if you're not a stun team player, just being able to disable somebody on the enemy team while you're gathering your ramp It's extremely useful.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying that though they're pretty much on all equal ground, right? Because sure you'll want to start out with your 2 or your 3, but then you have to consider like assist call comps, which basically every team has an assist call on it. You have to consider things like if you okay, so let me put a scenario out there, right? I have my axe, I whip it across the enemy team, people die, right? All the blues are dead, because obviously all the blues are dead. You know? Even if they revive, what do I care? I'll just kill them again. So why would my 3 being heal immunity matter? Now don't get me wrong, 3 having heal immunity is really freaking good. I
Especially
would
against Lex
recommend
teams,
it.
because now they can't heal. Now they're not even a threat.
That's true, but they still gain the meter, which is the most important part. And on top of that, it's, you know, if I'm fighting a Lex team, then no one's reviving anyone. So what does it matter? So I'd rather just kill someone outright with the double punch, personally. Because it's like, okay, I whipped my axe across people, I got my crit, because of course I did, and now I have my 4 int. And now I could just punch everyone to death, and I never have to worry about pressing a button again. It's a liberating feeling. That being said, I agree with Kage. You could easily go for any of the 3.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a tough
if you're
choice.
looking for stuns, get the stun. It's really good. If you're looking for heal immunity, go for the heal immunity. It's really good. If you're just looking for raw, like, I'm going to kill Donna Troy with this assist call power, go for her basic. It's really good.
Yeah, I think her sweet spot is Legendary 4. I hate to tell people that they don't really need to be Legendary 4, but that's her sweet spot. I mean, Legendary 1, she's good, but Legendary 4, I feel like, is where she.
Legendary 1, I feel like she was an A-tier character because it's just like, cool, she kills people, whatever, I don't care about her tools. But it's the tools that she gets with each legendary level really sets her apart from every other red in the meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say L4 is the... Well, man, this is tough. Because rank 5, she's good, basically. Yeah. Legendary 1, she's good. Legendary 3, she's fine. You can leave off one of the 3 and still be okay. Because the stun, as great as it is if you're playing it right, you really never touch the stun unless you need it. So, but it is handy to have, but it's not necessary. So you could just bring her to L3. Or you could just bring her to L4. Or you could just bring her to L5. This is one of the few characters where I don't think there's really a point where you're not happy with their legendary rank.
Yeah, I mean, I was using her in Siege at Legendary 1 regularly. Like, she was part of most of my teams. Which,
And I couldn't
it's very rare.
revenge you because Artemis would kill my teams before I could get a turn.
Yeah, I mean, she's a great character. I mean, this whole month has been ridiculous. Like, every character this month was very good, if not S tier. I mean, it's crazy.
Even with the bit aside, Cersei's not S tier.
No, I didn't. She's not. I wouldn't say she's S tier, but I said every character is very good or S tier.
Yeah. Well,
like there was nobody who was bad this month.
So Doom. Some people are saying A, some people are saying S for Artemis. Where would you lean on her? Bias aside. 6 foot. Bias aside. If she was like 3 feet tall, let's say she was 3 feet tall or 4'1", like most girls.
Okay, to be fair, if Artemis was like 3 foot something, I would still probably be like, that's adorable. I'll take her. A tiny girl with a battle axe just killing everything, 100%. That's great. That's hilarious. The fact that she's 6 foot has no bearing on my decision. At least in terms of tiers. But, man. Where would the character who basically one-shots every S tier blue in existence, kills most reds, can do literally everything, can fit onto literally every team, I wonder what tier she would go into.
Survives green. She survives
green.
Arcus and Larfleeze in one go.
Larfleeze and Lex, they do almost nothing to her. I mean, the only green that you really fear at all with her is pretty much Arcus. I mean, every other green, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I had no, like, if they were green heavy and there was one blue, I'm like, oh, I'll still bring her.
You know what's crazy too? Arcus has to crit on one of his punches to kill you. If it's just 2 regular punches, he can't do it.
No, I mean, I have had her survive fully buffed Arcus on a couple occasions, which never, I mean, any other red, he
Yeah,
looks at them funny and they die.
he folds them. But this character is unfoldable. She's that 7th fold of the piece of paper. You just can't do it.
Yeah, she's outrageous.
So yeah, no, easy S tier. Like, her and Hippolyta together are running this month, 100%. And I don't want to hear any sass otherwise, honestly, because it's pretty starkly obvious that both of these characters are just beyond good at the moment.
And they pair extremely well together.
Oh, yeah.
Like booster gold is always 50-50 for me. Like, will I get the true sight? Will I not? Will we actually one-shot this blue? I don't know.
Well,
Artemis.
if you have them high enough, I mean, Booster, the one thing I will give Booster is that if I need to remove a blue, guaranteed, because Artemis every now and again will leave them with a teeny bit of life, or if she doesn't crit on them, at once in a blue moon they'll survive. Booster is my guaranteed removal, but Artemis is still significantly better overall. Booster will have a place, like Batwoman will have a place, but...
Oh, wait. Did you say A, blue? A is in singular, as in 1?
Right. But a couple times they will be left with a sliver of life, so you need a guaranteed kill. You sometimes will
Obviously,
bring.
Artemis is just not rebirthed high enough, clearly.
Mine's Rebirth 2 right now.
Exactly. Your thing is chump sauce. It's weak.
Oh, she'll be
Put that thing
RB4.
up there.
She'll be RB4 shortly. Actually, she'll be she'll be RB4 in about 2 hours.
I didn't want to
she'll be
believe
RB3
you
because I don't have enough crystals. But
I almost didn't want to believe you that you turn one killed an RB5 down to Troy with your L4 Artemis.
yeah, if it crits, like I said, the only times they survive if she doesn't crit. But my crits are significantly less than the average person, so the average person gets 4 crits and everyone dies. But when I do an AoE, I typically only get 1 crit. And that may or may not be the blue.
Fun? I think we had to struggle on Kage's stream to find one team she did not work well in. And then I ended up just slapping together like, oh, use WGD, DT, Chemo, and freaking Artemis and whatever. And it still did good. It just didn't win. It was just like, wow, one team and only one team.
I mean,
that is true.
Artemis can only carry bad
true.
playing so far, Doom. So.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Kage does not know how to play that team properly. But
obviously, I don't know how to use World's Greatest Detective, so I'll give you the floor on that one.
Man, all right. So speaking of, let's talk team comps. What are you guys running her in?
Everything under the sun.
Well,
yeah, but what are you mainly running her in? What's your favorite?
Go ahead, Kage. What's your favorite?
Honestly, I like her with Steppenwolf or her with Owlman +2. And then everything else, I'll just kind of just depends. But I like how she just gains so much turn meter, because that's the only thing I didn't like about her kit was like the lack of turn meter. But that doesn't matter because she's so freaking fast anyway. She gets her turn. So those two, and those are 2-man teams, or Hippo with Artemis plus Owlman and Donna Troy. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking of putting Jessica Cruz on that team too. But, whatever. But I've been running her with Hippo and Steppenwolf and Owlman. And they do. It's just such a stupid combination.
My favorite team right now, I have 2 different ones I've been running. If there's an evasion team, I've been running Hal Keller Frost on a Troy Artemis, which is it's stupidly effective. But my favorite team with her right now is Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl, Artemis, and Cersei. And that team just absolutely destroys anything but evasion without any problems at all. And Cersei, her basic, assuming you don't get the AoE stun, which means you automatically win the match, her basic does the Zen downs, which just makes Artemis hit harder. So they seem to mesh well together, and Artemis has time to ramp up real quick. She gets the call assists from Martian Manhunter. Hawkgirl, she gets call assists from, and it's a wrecking machine. It's a super fun team.
Oh, Hakuro and Artemis is so dumb.
Yeah,
It's so stupid.
they pair very well together.
Doom, I know you're running her with. Go ahead.
Yeah. Remember, you know how it is. I got the Konami Code team. I'm just saying, not to brag. I got the ultimate. It's gonna be 1 part Lex, a sprinkle of Donna Troy, a dash of Artemis, and then a big old heaping handful of Hippolyta. This team just crushes everything. It's whatever. Wonder Girl team, who cares? She's dead. Other teams, who cares? You have Lex. And then that's it. But outside of that, of course, you can also run something like, say, something obnoxious. You could run like a Lex, Donna Troy, Artemis core and slap in WGD. And then just your opponent doesn't take turns anymore because you're just gaining so much ridiculous amounts of meter constantly. Like I'm talking loop detective work, loop speed up, and just let Artemis do all the work. Because that's what you can do. You can afford to do that with Artemis. She could just like, oh, I have 28 intups. I guess I'll punch this Arcus to death. Blop, blop, and then he's gone.
You know what team is also extremely fun? Grodd, Hippo, Chemo, and Artemis. It's such a good team.
I almost want to level up Grodd just because of what I saw in your stream. Because Artemis makes Grodd trash tier Grodd.
Well, and that was when she was L1, so it's now it's so much more effective.
Man, it's funny too because Grodd actually is a decent counter to Cersei. Technically, no one's a counter to not Cersei. Freaking Artemis. What am I talking about, Cersei? You got me all mixed up. Hey, now. Grodd is because I heard you say trash tier. My mind instantly went, oh yeah, Cersei. But no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I've had it happen to me where my Artemis was rocking around with like 80 intups, and then Grodd punches her once, and then he steals all of them, and I'm like, oh, that's not going to be good. And then he one-shots my team with his AoE, and I'm like, oh, that's really not good. But
Does his
yeah,
AoE
Grodd,
do special damage? I wasn't sure it did. I think that was kind of the knock on him. He had to like some moves did special, some did physical, which
I mean, the damage doesn't lie. He slapped my team around, so
it's amazing that you even found a Grodd to face. I see them in the wild so rarely.
hey, it's like National Geographic. But man, the other team I've been running, which has been surprisingly good, like I've been like, wow, this is a surprisingly effective team, and kind of makes me want to level up certain characters, right? So I ran Dr. Fate, Hippolyta, Artemis, and I forget who the green was. I think it was Chemo, but I can't remember. But man, it's when you put that heal immunity on everyone. Oh wait, no, it was Martian Manhunter lead, Dr. Fate, Artemis, Hippolyta. Yeah, when you put that heal immunity on everyone, and Dr. Fate has like 7 or 8 intups, even at gear 10, which is all I had him at the time, he does a lot of damage with his passive when it triggers. And then on top of that, he's like, oh, you have an immunity on? I guess I'll just slap you in the face for like 15k because my first basic abilities, I can't swear on the stream. But yeah, he's surprisingly powerful. Plus adds more intup, plus adds more shield. Like it's not bad. If you're looking for a unique character to run around with your teams, Dr. Fate might be a good one. I mean, he's not super tanky. He'll die to Artemis, but I mean, who doesn't nowadays? Let's be honest. So yeah, super good.
So,
Yeah, Artemis makes all the trash characters like Yellow Sinestro look pretty good too.
oh yeah, I liked that yellow Sinestro team you were running. Actually looked kind of fun.
All right, but go ahead, Nate.
I said that yellow Sinestro team you were running looked pretty fun. So she's
Oh yeah.
I don't think Sinestro's trash. I mean, he's not great, but he's not the worst. But she makes them
No, I'm just
cool. She makes them
exaggerating.
fun. And but
You
with
know
that,
who else is really good with Artemis?
who's that?
Blue Beetle.
Nothing's good with or Blue
No,
Beetle.
no, no. I'm not even joking. This is gonna be like Doom's hot take here, right? The only character that Artemis struggles with is shielded greens like Arcus. Blue Beetle, actually does a decent job of handling them, provided that you can give him some stats to roll with originally. And he has a decent purge. So, no, Blue Beetle actually handles Arcus decently well, at least to the point where he can clean up after Artemis. So, yeah, he's not bad.
All right, guys. Well, we're at 40 minutes, so I think we'll wrap this one up, so I can try to get it out tonight or tomorrow. And any closing comments?
Gear her. You don't need any of the red.
You really don't.
This shout out goes to that guy who said, I don't know if she's going to do a lot of damage. He's thinking of you. I told you I wouldn't forget about you. I think it was Incritical. You know I love you, man. But
I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna try to find that chat and clip it and put it on the intro picture.
You should. I think it's in I can't remember if it's in the Hippolyta or in the Cersei one, but it's in one of those two, so you can find it there.
Yeah. All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Hey, I'm Josh Urars. Thank you for listening to the WROL broadcast. If you like the show, consider becoming a Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/WROL broadcast and get early reviews on new characters. And for even more Legends action, check out my daily stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/JoshURars and watch my L5 Etrigan wreck the boys Rebirth 5 Arcus.